Welcome back to the Basement Boys podcast and this week's free episode. If you want bonus episodes every week, check out patreon.com/basementboyspodcast, where we upload an additional weekly episode for $2 a month. You can also get access to bonus footage and behind the scenes. Regardless, we appreciate all your support, and we hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome back to the Basement Boys podcast. It's been a while, but we're back in the studio. It's been like a month and a half, bro.
Yep.
We got our lovely dog here.
To show that time has passed, the studio is actually falling apart.
This isn't on purpose. This is just how much of the soundproofing has fallen off in the last month and a half.
Literally since the day I left.
And we haven't fixed it. But Zach's back in the apartment, and maybe we'll fix it for next episode.
We will not.
I'll fix it for next episode if Zach doesn't want to do anything.
I don't want to do anything ever.
I know. I've been posting a lot of, new podcast ideas and, YouTube video ideas in our Discord. It's been fun. I have a lot of things I want to play, a lot of videos I want to make. The podcast hasn't even been, going for a minute, and Bowser's already tired and laying down. He doesn't want to be a part of the podcast anymore. Doesn't want to be in frame.
Bad guest, honestly.
Bad guest, worst guest. So how you been? I want to hear all about your month and a half away from the apartment.
What is there to tell?
Well, I mean, you were at your grandparents' house.
Yep, that was awful.
Was there anything, exciting that happened?
No.
Did you need to go do anything?
Nope.
What do you do with your life, Zach?
I sleep and I eat.
Okay. I don't know, man. I'm excited because I'm now back in classes. Dude, I kind of missed it because I didn't have a job all summer due to the virus. So, I was just bored for most of the summer. I was just stuck in my room. And while classes aren't the greatest thing to happen in my life, I don't like doing schoolwork. It's still something new and something to work on, So I'm excited. Are you excited to go back to classes?
I don't have classes.
I thought you were taking a gap year.
And it continues.
This is your fourth straight gap year since high school. What would you go back for?
Probably the same thing I would have gone for originally.
Which was what? Yes, everyone who watched the podcast knows what your original plan was.
Which was digital art or something.
Graphic design would have been cool.
Yeah, digital art, graphic design.
Graphic design's fun. And you're good at it, dude. You gotta make more art for the Patreon. Zach posted an original artwork. An original art piece. He's an artiste. He posted it to the Patreon, and it's pretty cool. I'm a fan of it. And it's new content on the Patreon. We've never really done pictures before.
Yeah, I need to track down the other one if I even still have it. I'll be pissed off if I don't, because once again, our school deleted our emails without telling us.
Yeah, we talked about this last podcast. I lost a lot of art I made in high school because of that. Dude, speaking of, now posting pictures and stuff to the Patreon, we should do, an entire calendar of just pin-up pictures of the two of us. I think people would really be into that.
I'm down to fucking do that.
I'm down. I was thinking about this the other day. I kind of forgot pinup models even existed because, they're not popular anymore. They're not the fad.
We should bring back pinup models.
We should. We'll be the next greatest pinup models.
But they're all dogs.
Dogs? Bowser could be a pinup model. He's a good guy.
Bowser, I actually have a picture of Bowser we should use for one of the calendar months for a pinup model.
Oh, that's a future idea for, if and when we ever have any popularity.
The second we gain any traction, it's just a pin-up calendar of us that gets released.
Just tasteful
regardless
nudes.
of the fact that it's the middle of August.
Yeah, man, listen. Nothing wrong with tasteful nudes. Welcome back. Oh, man. So there isn't, any stories you can tell from your time away from the apartment?
I didn't do much.
At all?
There was nothing to do.
There were a lot of things that happened while you were gone from the apartment.
Tell me about the things.
Well, we have a leaky toilet now.
Yes, that is true.
That is leaking. So it's above us on the first floor, and we're in the basement. So if you flush the toilet, it leaks into the basement, which is really convenient.
Really convenient because the floor for the basement was soaked previously from the leaking air conditioning unit.
Yes, we had a leaking air conditioning unit, which we fixed, but now we have a leaking toilet, which we have not fixed. What else? What else happened to the apartment? Dude, there were fire trucks down the street this morning when I was walking Bowser.
This morning?
Yeah, you were at work, so this didn't happen when you were gone. But I was super confused.
Nice.
I'm just glad it wasn't our place.
Honestly.
That's like an irrational fear, I guess we could call it. Because we used to talk a lot about our irrational fears on the Jesus Christ, I had a stroke. We used to talk a lot about our irrational fears on the podcast. And one I've never mentioned is like the irrational fear of coming home to just like the apartment being burned down and like fire trucks out in the front. And I'm like, oh, well, I don't have a place to live now. That's one. But yeah, I don't know what was going on down the street. They didn't have like sirens on or anything, and obviously nothing was on fire.
Yeah.
I would have included that in my story as I passed by.
As you...
But there
I
were
would
just...
have noticed the flames and the death.
I don't know. Do firefighters respond to like gas leaks?
Firefighters respond to cats trapped in trees, if you believe
Cats trapped inside of trees?
They're inside the trees, and firefighters are the ones to save them.
Cats...
If you believe popular culture. No, but like they respond to like if someone gets stuck in like the washing machine. Like say your stepsister were to get stuck in the washing machine. Of course.
She does it all the time. Oh my god.
They would be who you would call, and they would help you to get her out.
So quirky and random. Always getting stuck in different places. Yeah, I don't know. My best guess is that maybe there was a gas leak down the street, and that's why there were so many fire trucks. But yeah, when I was walking Bowser this morning, I was highly confused. Also, I never started the Minecraft footage, I just realized. That's okay, though, because this Minecraft footage is a little bit shorter. For the second time in, this series of Minecraft we put up on the TV behind us, which I record before every episode. I just get to play an hour of Minecraft. It's fun, it's chill, but for the second time I died. Dude, I know this isn't like a primarily video game podcast, and I know we don't primarily do video game topics, but I want to rant about Minecraft actually. Because
go off, son.
They finally did a Nether update with 1.16, which is what everyone was asking. Yeah. Update the Nether, make the Nether better. I kind of hate the Nether now.
Why do you hate the Nether?
Okay, so it's cool.
I haven't looked at it.
It is really cool. I'll give it that. It's better as far as aesthetics go and like exploring because they added new biomes to the Nether, new fortresses, but the default Nether fortress where you find blaze rods and what is it called? The stuff that grows... Netherwort. Where you find blaze rods and netherwort. Two crucial things to beating the game. And that's what I'm trying to do in this series, is beat the game. Those nether fortresses are almost impossible to find now. Because all the new stuff is in the nether. I searched for an hour in this video. And after I stopped recording in this video. And I couldn't find a default nether fortress. I just kept finding the new stuff. And the new biomes. And then... I was like, screw it, I'm going to start exploring off recording, because this is just getting boring. Even though no one watches this footage on YouTube, it's solely for background footage purposes, I was like, this is too boring to even use as background footage. I'm exploring the Nether for hours, not finding anything. So I stopped recording, and kept exploring the Nether for hours. And it took me almost 3 hours to find a Nether fortress, bro.
Nice.
And I had to do it off recording. So, in the next podcast, if you pay attention to the background footage, I just have a lot of like new items, and I have netherwort because I did it off recording. I was just so pissed off. I kept finding these new nether fortresses, these new mobs, new biomes. They added like 2 different types of nether trees. Yeah. Which is cool. It's cool that there are now trees and they're like forests, but where you would normally find a default nether fortress, you now find a forest. And where you would normally find a default nether fortress, you now find like a lava field. And I don't mean like a pool of lava. There's these weird new things in the nether that are like 2 by 10 pools of lava. Like almost how you would plant crops. But it's just lava in rows. And it's weird. It's weird and it's cool and it's new to explore. I love Minecraft. I'm not trying to shit talk Minecraft. But
I'm trying to shit talk Minecraft.
I'm actually kind of pissed off when I was recording the footage for today's episode. The background footage that I could not find a nether fortress, and I ended up dying trying to find one. Like that's the extent of which I had to go to, is putting my own life on the line, bro. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like this new Minecraft update is what I'm trying to say. I like this new Warframe update.
I fuck with this new Warframe update.
The new Warframe update's dope.
They added an open world.
Another one.
We should use this to start our Warframe podcast.
Dude, honestly, I'd be down to start a Warframe. I know you originally wanted this podcast to be a Warframe podcast.
I didn't want it to be like a strictly Warframe podcast because there's not enough to talk about to do a weekly podcast.
True, but you wanted like the theming of it to be Warframe, like the name. Because we were gonna call it Baza Boys back then when you had that idea.
Yep.
But for those of you who don't know, Warframe is a fun game. Best free-to-play game in the world, in my opinion. Not
Second
pay to
only
win.
to League of Legends.
It's one of the few free-to-play games that isn't pay to win. And it's such a good time. And the new update has me all tickled inside, you know?
Tickled?
Tickled.
Tickled?
Tickled
Did
and
you play
tackled.
the quest yet?
I'm playing the quest tonight on stream.
Oh, you're playing
I'm
the quest
so
tonight on
excited.
stream.
So excited. No,
Playing
yeah,
the quest tonight on stream, boys.
last night I was just grinding kills. I was just trying to get a lot of Xmas kills. I was taking down a ton of enemies, and just it kind of became like mindless at that point. Just like shooting enemy after enemy after enemy, just to get some challenges done. Yeah, tonight I'm doing the new quest, and Warframe is just so good. There's so much content. I mean, I've been playing for 2 years. I'm not even halfway done the content. Zach's been playing for like 17 years. He's still not done all the content in the game.
That's untrue, but okay.
How long have you been playing Warframe?
2.5 to 3 years.
I've been playing 2 years. You've definitely not been playing for 2.5.
No, I'm pretty sure I have.
No.
Simply.
No way.
Easily.
I'm looking up when you uploaded that first Warframe video to your channel.
That's not going to be an accurate statement because that was back in high school when the game was completely different.
So what?
The
game.
That's also a different platform. None of that progress is in this.
That doesn't matter.
It matters a little.
Why are you getting mad that I'm trying to hype you up right now?
I'm mad about it.
I'm trying to make you look better.
I don't like looking good.
And you're getting upset.
I'm upset.
Hi, Bowser. Thank you for sniffing my hand. What a good guy. How far through, like, if you take all the content in Warframe that exists, how far through it do you think you are? That was a loud slam. Oh my god.
Probably 3/4.
3/4, 75%? Not bad. Not bad.
Or more.
I put myself at like 35%, and I've been playing the game for 2 years, and I'm only like 35%.
You also haven't completed any quests.
Okay.
In so goddamn long.
I just like killing enemies. I'm not so much into like quests.
Oh boy, here I go killing again.
Pretty much. That's me, dog. Yeah, I've been playing for 2 years, and I'm only about 35% of the way through Warframe's content. There's just so much, and they keep adding more, which is like putting me more and more behind. They're always adding new stuff. I'm trying to find it. You have a lot. Dude, I forgot how many different things you uploaded to your channel back in the day.
Don't discuss it.
Assassin's Creed Unity. Random. Oh, you used a random Minecraft mod generator? That's exciting. Yep. Call of Duty Ghosts? You a big fan of Call of Duty Ghosts?
Get out of my house.
What's the matter? What's the matter, Zach? Dude, this is making me nostalgic. Back when we used to upload these trashy YouTube videos 5 years ago, and I'm not even calling your YouTube videos trashy from 5 years ago. Mine were trashy from 5 years ago as well. But like, I used to love these gaming sessions 5 years ago. Jet Fighter 2015.
I fucking miss that game.
That sounds fun. Alright, so Warframe, your first Warframe video uploaded to your channel was June 22nd, 2015. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah, but I played that on PlayStation, then I stopped playing on PlayStation because I got Destiny. And the whole reason I'd, like, stop playing on PlayStation was because someone made fun of me for Warframe, calling it the poor man's Destiny. And, like, the idiot high schooler I was, I believed them.
Meanwhile, Destiny is just...
Destiny's garbage.
Destiny is the dumb man's Warframe.
All my homies hate Destiny.
Destiny's a good game, but Warframe is a better game.
I want to play through the campaign, the OG campaign with you on Destiny.
Yeah, I kind of want to play it.
Just to see.
I own it.
Just to see.
Because you bought it for me. And
yes, that is true.
Never really
and now
played
it's
it.
free.
I never really... You bought it for me, and now it's free. Oh, God.
I bought it for myself, and now it's free.
Oh, no. You spent, what, that's like $120 on Destiny?
So...
That you could have saved if you just waited? Just between
you and me.
And
it would have been a 3-year wait, which now doesn't matter because you still haven't played the game.
Yeah.
But what I'm mad about with Destiny, and the reason I refuse to like put any more money into it ever, is your boy, right, bought the game on launch for... Actually, I pre-ordered the game.
Mm-hmm.
For like the $60 plus whatever fucking package they had where you got a little bit of bonus shit. So probably like $70 was spent on launch. Then I bought the two $15 DLCs.
Okay.
So that's $30 more. So that's like $100 towards Destiny, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they added another DLC. And I bought that as well for $15 again. And then they were like, oh, hey, here's the Fallen bullshit, whatever. The part where that character that everyone is mad about dying dies.
Okay.
And then...
Spoiler. Continue.
Been 3 years, my guy.
Continue.
Anyway, the part where, what the fuck was it? Forsaken. It was Forsaken, and that was another $60 on top of it.
Jesus. A $60 DLC?
It's a $60 DLC, but it's essentially like adding so much. It's adding so much to the game that it's essentially a whole new game now. But that shouldn't be how you release DLC. And now you have to pay like basically a subscription, like you would for World of Warcraft, to play Destiny.
Yeah, that's weird. Spent all that money too. I feel bad for you, man.
Which the big problem, in my opinion, was that I go too hard into pretty much every game I play, to the point where I get burned out like that compared to everybody else in our friend group.
Yeah, dude, that is a good point. Like, and something I've never like realized until now. I never like verbalized it, but you do get burned out so quickly.
Yeah. So like, for example, CS:GO, when we initially started playing it, you would play until your internet cut out. And then I would play for another 4 hours every night.
Yeah.
And I never want to go back to that game. And the only reason I do is for the like quality time with friends that it brings.
Yeah, that's kind of a good point. I feel like you kind of like work on one game at a time, put a lot of effort into one game at a time.
Yep.
And the only exception to playing that one game at a time is when you want to play with friends who are playing another game. When you want social interaction, basically, you play something new or different.
Well, so Destiny, I played the full goddamn game with Ross by my side.
Uh-huh.
And I also, when Ross would like get off for the night, I'd spend like another 2 hours just grinding whatever the fuck I wanted.
Yeah.
Outside of Crucible. So Ross got back into the game and like went hard into it to the point where he got burned out, but I was already like 2 months burned out on the game by that point.
I mean, and to go back to the whole Destiny thing, the reason I haven't played it yet, and I kind of feel bad because you bought it for me, is because you got me into both Destiny and Warframe at the same time.
Yep.
And immediately I realized, oh, Warframe is just a better Destiny. They're not the same game, but they're similar. They're similar enough.
They're the same genre.
Yeah, they're similar enough for me to say Warframe is a better Destiny, and for the statement to be true in my heart and in my eyes. Yeah. So I've just been grinding Warframe ever since, and I just haven't wanted to touch Destiny again.
That's fair.
And I don't know.
No, but yeah, and my like issue again with like Destiny is like I got burned out and like had 2 months of just like apathetically logging into the game and not wanting to do shit.
Yeah.
And just like playing basically for the sake of playing before the other friend I played with even started to feel burnout.
Well, I don't get burnt out from games very easily, but I do, and it's something I've started to do only recently in 2020. Is I'm starting to take breaks from games that I feel like I'm wasting my time on. So, like, I'm no longer playing Overwatch because I don't really have fun with it anymore. I really dislike how little skill some characters take to use, and I really dislike how just frustrating Overwatch's gameplay can be. Because, and I'm not even using a high skill-based character. I play Mei. Mei's like middle-of-the-road skill to be good with. Like, you have to be middle of the road. And I am middle of the road. Like, I'm a good enough player. And then a Moira or a Junkrat will just melt me and not have to have any aim or game sense or skill to do it. And some of them do have skill. Some people who play Moira and some people who play Junkrat do have skill. But so many of them don't. And the fact that a character in that game requires no skill to be good at pissed me off. So I cut Overwatch out of my life. And then CSGO, as many people know, that community has just been infested with hackers. Where the last time I streamed it, which was a while ago, it was like 2 months ago now, the last time I streamed it, I got hackers in 5 out of 6 of my games. That is a terrible ratio. So I cut CSGO out of my life because there's just no point to playing that game anymore. It's no longer a shooter game, it's a hacker game.
Yeah.
Like, it's a game for hackers, not a game for people wanting to...
And part of the reason that I don't I don't fuck with competitive shooters anymore, which is or really shooters in general, which is fucking wild. My preferred genres have essentially done a backflip to where like I'm much. I used to like when I was trying to play Final Fantasy back when you were really
Yeah.
like you were doing Final Fantasy streams. I was like, I can't do this. This shit's like too much grind for me.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm sitting there like spending like 8 hours trying to get a second copy of fucking Korra in Warframe just so I can throw it in the fucking trash because that's what I have to do with this second copy.
Just grinding for 8 hours is now your new life. No, I kind of agree.
But
my preferences have switched as well from like the first half of my college life to now, my second half of college life. Because first half of college, all I really played were a lot of shooter games. And some Minecraft on the side, because Minecraft's a nice, chill game. I've always played Minecraft. But mostly played shooter games. And now, like I said, I cut out Overwatch, cut out CSGO. I'm about to cut out Valorant because that game is really pissing me off.
Valorant, I'm kind of relieved, kind of like irked that Valorant is going away for us. Because I think it's a cool concept.
It is.
But I think it's poorly executed, and I'm just not... I'm not here for competitive shooters anymore.
I know.
Or even things that want to be a competitive shooter like Valorant.
This is the way I've always described it on stream because I think it's a perfect way of describing it. It's one of the most fun shooter games I've ever played, but it's one of the least competitive shooter games I've ever played. And the problem is it's trying to sell itself as a competitive shooter, not as a fun shooter.
Yep.
And I don't think it's very competitive. Like, the skill ceiling is so low to be good at Valorant. It's frustrating, similar to like my complaints with Overwatch. It's like you don't have to be good at the game to be good at Valorant. Like, I want to have like a shooter game be the people who are good at aiming and good at making decisions and are smart succeed. Not anyone can succeed. Like, I don't like that mentality. That's why I stopped playing Fortnite, because like Fortnite is so heavily RNG based and it's so luck based that anyone can win. And it's designed purposely in that way.
Yeah.
So that anyone can win. That's why it attracts so many little kids, because even someone in like 5th grade who just got home from school doesn't even know how to properly use a controller could win a game of Fortnite. It's hard, but it's possible. And that's how the game's designed. So anyone can enjoy it and be good at it. And that's fine with Fortnite because it's a battle royale. It's not very competitive. Yeah, there are tournaments, but obviously you're not really seeing any 5th graders in tournaments. But the difference between Fortnite and Valorant is Valorant's trying to be a competitive shooter game, while Fortnite's mostly trying to be a fun shooter game. It's okay if anyone can win a fun shooter game. That's the point. It's trying to be fun for everyone.
Yep.
But competitive shooter games should be competitive and skill-based, and Valorant just doesn't feel very, very highly skill-based, in my opinion. So I'm cutting that game out here soon, probably. I'm going down that path of like hating it more and more. So from the first half of college, where all I played were shooter games, now, at the end of my college career, I pretty much cut out every shooter game from my life, and I'm playing a lot of like single-player, just chill games. Like, the last 3 games I've played on my stream are Mario Super Sluggers, Mario Kart, and Mario Odyssey. I've just been playing a ton of Mario games lately.
I gotta do that Mario Kart stream idea.
I would make the argument Mario is the literal opposite of a competitive shooter game.
Yeah.
So my preferences have definitely flipped as well.
Well, I should try like going back to the Mario stuff and shit, because I'm much more zen, I guess, in the way I approach games, where I don't really care anymore about like doing well.
Yeah.
Or...
And that's the better attitude to have.
And I think that really showed in like my Jedi Fallen Order like hard mode live streams, because I thought like the whole point of that was, oh, I'm gonna play this, it's gonna be too hard for me, I'm gonna get pissed at the game because I'm being stupid, it's gonna be funny to watch. And instead it was just like, oh, this is a bit of a struggle and I can commentate around that.
Yeah. And it was a good series on your Twitch. I enjoyed watching it. It was fun to watch. You did better than I think even you expected.
Yeah,
you were doing,
much better than I expected.
You were killing it. And do you own Mario Odyssey?
No.
I will let you borrow it. I'm 1 or 2 live streams away from 100%ing the game and being fully done with it. So I'll let you borrow it after that. You should definitely check it out. It is the second best Mario game ever, in my opinion.
My only worry is the cap jump that you have to use to get like far distances, like across far like things.
Yeah.
Seems very complex.
The movement is complex, but it's so good. It's such a great game, especially if your goal is... I've been getting a little annoyed with it, 100%ing it, because there are some things you have to do in the game that just aren't explained to you.
Yeah.
There was one moon recently that I had to get where it was just ground pounding a random spot on the ground that wasn't like shaking your controller when you stood in it, so it didn't give you a hint that way. No one in the game told you to go there. There was no hint to do it. It just felt like pure luck finding that objective. And that kind of annoyed me. I'm like, why are we putting random, like, no lore, no story behind these, like, objectives? Just random objectives that make no sense. But that's because I'm 100% in the game. Obviously, some objectives and some moons are going to be... Some things are going to be a little worse than others. But most of the gameplay is so creative and story-driven and makes sense and fun. I just love... Oh, I love Mario Odyssey, and I'm so close to 100%ing it. I'm, like, 90% done.
There's another game that I've been playing recently that I, like, really fuck with in a similar way.
Have you been streaming it?
I don't know.
Because if you haven't been streaming it, I wouldn't know.
Honestly, I fuck with Stardew recently a lot, too.
Dude, we need to get back into playing multiplayer Stardew. I haven't streamed Stardew since Animal Crossing came out.
Yeah, I haven't streamed Animal Crossing since I last streamed Animal Crossing, and then I gave up on Animal Crossing, and I need to restart Animal Crossing.
Yeah, my Animal Crossing hype's kind of died down a little bit, but I want to get back into that. I just want to get back into a lot of chill games.
I think my problem with Animal Crossing is you can't, like, go to the next day. Like, you have no control over that, and, like, the time I would be playing it, most likely, would definitely be after the shop is closed.
Well, that was part of the reason why I've stopped playing Animal Crossing as much, is because my sleep schedule is so bad, and I have classes in the daytime, that, like, I'm only playing Animal Crossing late at night when nothing's open, most of my villagers are asleep. Like, it's a lot more boring. So that kind of sucks. And yeah, the counterpoint that maybe some viewers will give us is that we could time skip, but I don't personally want to time skip. And I don't know about you, but, like,
I tried to time skip and I did it wrong, and I don't care enough to try again.
How did you do it wrong?
I don't know.
Fair.
Yeah. I just know that I skipped like 6 months, and that bitch still wanted to live in my place. And I was like,
you were trying to kick a villager out.
I was trying to kick a villager out, and I was like, fuck it, I'm nuking the whole island.
Yeah. Did you ever stream your second island, like your restarted island?
I haven't restarted yet.
Oh, you haven't restarted yet?
For the point of I want to stream it.
Oh, well, you should.
Maybe.
I know we're both streaming Warframe tonight. Tonight, of course, being Wednesday. But you should stream it. Maybe the day the podcast goes up, Thursday.
Possibly.
Oh.
I'll consider it if I'm not fucking dead from work.
I've been playing a lot more chill games, though. I love it. I'm a much happier person as well, not constantly streaming competitive shooter games because they're so intense and you have to focus, and therefore you can't really communicate with chat as much and converse with them. It's nice. I do miss some competitive shooter games, especially because I got good at all of them that I played. So now it kind of feels like wasted potential that I got good, especially CSGO. CSGO was the only competitive shooter game I hit the highest rank in the game at. Like, Overwatch, I'm good, not great. Valorant, I'm good, not great. CSGO, I am amazing at, and I'm not playing it anymore, so it kind of feels like wasted potential, and, like, I spent all this time getting better for nothing. But I am a much happier person now that I'm playing competitive games less. It's just, it was so much stress mentally.
Yeah. I think I might be ready to give Minecraft another go.
I've been playing a lot of Minecraft still.
Because my issue with Minecraft very quickly became that, like, I did everything I wanted to over and over and over again in Minecraft, to the point where, like, there's nothing left for me to do that I wanted to, and I couldn't, like, think of new things to do.
No, I relate, because, like, in a simple example of that within the game, you always got to build a house. And I realized recently that I think I've built almost every type of house you can build in Minecraft. Like, that's how many times I've played the game over and over again.
I've built, like, a lot of pyramids.
You've built a lot of pyramids. So, if I were to, like, say, start another Minecraft series, or, like, just play another Minecraft world, I'm kind of, like, running out of ideas. I don't know what new things I could do in that game. Thankfully, the new updates add new content, even though I'm kind of annoyed by some of the new content, as I ranted about earlier.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I get that. I'm kind of the same way with Stardew Valley, which is why I haven't gone back and restarted a Stardew Valley save file. Like, I'm 5 years deep into one of my Stardew Valley save files. And while I could restart and
See, I recently restarted to do the coffee farm meme. Because I want to fucking, what's it called? I want to have, like, a specific, like, one specific farm item that I, like, function with. And I want to, like, see how well I can do with just that.
It's a cool concept, and it's a funny meme that you're making a farm that only grows coffee.
And I think it's also, like, pretty neat, because it's like a... What's it? Like, it is kind of a cash crop within the game.
Yeah.
And it is, like, a very, I still have full freedom to do whatever the fuck I want in every other aspect of the game. It's just, the farm, there's some coffee.
Yeah, but like I said, I have a 5-year-old save file of Stardew Valley. And the reason I haven't started fresh and started a new game is because I've pretty much done everything already. So if I did start a new game, it just would probably be the 5-year save file all over again.
I think that my oldest Stardew save file is either 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Dirty Rotten Cheater save file.
Oh yeah, I forgot you cheated one of your saves.
Where basically every time someone says my name, I get Ancient Seed, Iridium Sprinkler, and Legend Fish.
Nice. So you're just a cheater, a liar, a thief. Just the worst.
And on top of that, I'm also a thief.
Of course. I
said I'm a liar.
That. Anyways, I don't...
But above all, a cheater.
We've been ranting about... I said...
Most importantly, a thief.
Said at the beginning of this episode, this isn't a video game podcast, and we've just been ranting about video games. But, to be fair, we don't do that a lot on this podcast. We want to keep this podcast mostly story-based, and just kind of talking about ourselves and our own lives, and, like, making jokes. But it's also a video game podcast. It's hard to make this a genre. Like, on YouTube, I put it in the comedy section instead of the gaming section.
Yeah. Because
I think we do talk more about, like, funny stories than we do gaming. But on
I don't want my shoes anymore.
On, like, Patreon and, like, other websites, I describe it as comedy and gaming, because you can use multiple, like, tags.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is kind of a blend. Today is definitely more of a gaming episode. We haven't done a gaming episode in a while, though.
It's been a minute.
We haven't ranted about video games in a long time, and I have a lot to rant about, baby. Like,
yep.
I've just been playing so many different stuff.
Oh, fuck. Did you know they revamped the new player experience in Warframe?
What do you mean the new player experience?
What do you mean? What do I mean? Like, the starting quest.
Oh, the first ever quest in the game. Like, when you start the game. Can we, like, go back and replay that?
Yeah.
Just to see what
Do you want to?
I'm down to, like, replay the first ever quest in the game just to see what it looks like now.
I might not be able to tonight, but I'll definitely do that with you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, probably not tonight because we're doing the new quest. I want to do the new quest first before I go back and do the first quest again.
I feel like you should also do all the other quests you missed along the way.
I know, I've missed a lot of quests. You always say that, and
I still mean it.
It's never gonna change.
I just, what was the last, like, story quest you did? It would have been the War Within, right?
Probably.
It has to be the War Within.
Probably. I still haven't done the sacrifice.
You still need to do,
I still need to do a lot of things, that's all. That's
actually,
a simple way of putting it.
The sacrifice and most of the other quests you missed are prologues.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, there's a lot of other quests I missed. Like, I know there's still a lot I have to do, but
yeah, but those are all Warframe quests.
That's the one nice thing about Warframe, though, is you don't have to do all the quests. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Realistically, you can do whatever the fuck you want. And that's what I do when I play Warframe. I don't, like, do the main story very often at all. Very rarely do I participate in the main story.
You did do Chains of Harrow at one point, though, right?
Nope.
No, you must have.
Maybe.
That was the horror quest.
Oh, yeah, you egged me on to do that. I remember now. You egged me on to do that.
Yeah, because Chains of Harrow is a prerequisite for the sacrifice.
Yeah. That game's so good, and I especially love how I just can do whatever I want and still have fun. And still succeed. I can have fun and succeed at the game by doing whatever I want. I don't have to do the main story. I just think Warframe is, like, one of the best games out there. Definitely the best free game, and one of the best games ever.
Yep.
I'd put it in my top 10. Probably.
I'd put it...
Probably, like, somewhere the 8, 9, or 10 spot, but top 10.
That's another one that, like, I just remembered Borderlands 3 was another one where both Ross and I got burned out before we finished the story.
I haven't played 3.
What the fuck?
I haven't played 3.
I just want to know how the fuck both of us are going to stop playing before finishing the story.
Yeah, I don't know. Borderlands is a great game. I love Borderlands. But the reason I never bought 3, as much as I love the game, is because I beat Borderlands 2 in 2 days. So I'm like, I don't want to spend all this money on a game that I'm probably going to play for a couple days and then not play again. Because that's what I did with Borderlands 2. I beat Borderlands 2 in 2 days, and then I've never played it again.
I would beg the argument that if I didn't beat it in 2 days, you might very well not beat 3 in 2 days.
Well,
but that's also...
Maybe 3 would take me longer to beat, but still, it just worries me that, like, I've spent 2 days of my entire life playing Borderlands 2, and that's it. And I don't want to do that with Borderlands. I don't want to spend all that money on Borderlands 3 and do a similar thing. But Borderlands is a great game. I had so much fun, the short amount of time I played it. And the story was phenomenal. The story was hilarious, too. I don't know, it's a great game.
Yep.
I remember this kid on my bus in high school was one of the biggest Borderlands fans ever, to the point where it was, like, cringy every time he, like, ranted about Borderlands. And was, like, hyping it up. And because it was, like, cringy how much he hyped it up, I never actually played Borderlands 2 when it came out. And, like, when it was popular, I played it years later. Because I'm like, oh, if this kid's, like, way too into it, I'm probably not going to be that into it. Like, if this cringy kid is way too into Borderlands, it's probably not for me. And maybe that was a petty thing to think, and I was a douche.
It was, and you were.
But, yeah, that's why it took me so long to get into Borderlands 2 in the first place. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't think I finished Borderlands 2 either, or Borderlands 1. I haven't even touched the pre-sequel. I'm doing real good with Borderlands games right now, okay?
You're just so good at every video game, Zach.
Dude, it's crazy.
I kind of appreciate your new attitude on Twitch, though, because it works really well in your commentary and your gameplay. Because you've, like you said earlier, kind of accepted that you're not really good at any game, and you're playing off that, like, personality now.
Yep.
Which is, hey, I respect it.
I don't, I still feel like it'll be harder to, like, draw in viewers in that way.
It will. Maybe on Twitch, for sure. But a lot of the YouTubers I watch aren't good at the games they play, they're just funny.
Yeah.
So, like, it'll be harder on Twitch, but maybe not YouTube if you start uploading again.
Maybe. I'll try.
You should. This is something I've said in, like, 7 podcasts now. You should upload to YouTube.
Maybe.
You should do it.
Consider it.
Go ahead. What's holding you back? Upload. Upload right now. Right now.
There. It's
oh,
done.
No. Zach, you uploaded your own personal sex tape. No, Zach. Oh, he can't hear me. He's got AirPods in. Zach. Jesus. Oh, what a...
That took us a hot minute to go through.
Yeah, it's lagging a little bit on the laptop. We've kind of run out of Patreon topic or Patreon. We've run out of podcast topics. We've run out of.
There is a topic we haven't discussed that we could discuss.
What is that?
I got a new car.
You got a new car.
I got a new car.
I kind of forgot. Do you want to talk about your new car?
Do you want to go look at my new car?
We're in the middle of a podcast.
We can take the podcast to my new car.
No.
The rest of it will be a car podcast.
Listen, you're going to pick up the camera, and on the way to the car, they're going to see all the laundry on the floor, the Game Boy SP that was on the floor, and they're going to unsubscribe just from how dirty the set is outside of the camera's point of view.
Listen, it doesn't need to be clean outside of the camera's point of view. Have you ever seen a movie set that was clean outside of the camera's point of view?
That's a good point, I guess.
But anyway, I fucking I did a highway robbery. I got a 2017 Nissan Sentra with only 9,000 miles on it.
Okay, well, I'm not going to ask you how much it was on the podcast, but like...
$10.
Was it cheap?
It was cheap.
Nice. What's wrong with it?
Nothing.
Are you sure?
100%.
Okay. I respect it. I don't know how you did that.
It was a lease.
Okay.
And the person didn't, go over the miles they were allowed with their lease.
Huh.
So, here we are. And I'll be crossing the 10,000 mile marker eventually.
Did you just buy it outright? You didn't lease it?
No, I didn't lease it.
Okay. I mean, hey, I respect it. It's fun. I'm excited to go somewhere. I'm excited to do car podcasts in that car.
Oh, yeah.
Those car podcasts will probably sound nicer, too.
Yep.
Oh, God.
That car is it drives so smoothly that I've been going, and I've looked down and realized I'm doing like 80.
Jesus. I'm gonna miss the old squeaky car, though.
Don't miss the old squeaky. Don't weep for the old squeaky car. Be happy for the fact that mine has a backup camera now.
I'm gonna miss the squeaks, and I'm gonna miss those squeaks being on the car podcast we posted to the YouTube channel and the Patreon. They were so much fun to have in the background of the video, disrupting the audio.
I'm certain they were.
Oh man, we should definitely go somewhere soon though.
Yep.
Whether it's for a free episode or a Patreon episode, doesn't matter to me. I just want to do another car podcast now that you have another car.
I look, you want to get that mom and pop shop pizza.
I do too.
From my hometown, and bring it back so that the boys can try it.
We're just gonna pick up pizza an hour away, just because it's that good.
Minutes.
45 minutes, sure.
And yeah, hell yeah, because it's that good.
It is good pizza. Hey, I'm down.
I would I would grab it on the way home on Monday nights, but they don't record their podcast here anymore. So what's the fucking point?
Yeah. We still need to do a crossover episode with the Night Shift podcast, which if you are watching the Night Shift podcast, one of the hosts is our roommate Brian, who's a great guy. While our podcast is like comedy and gaming, theirs is much more like hip hop and music related. So it's a fun time. I'm not even that big into hip hop, and I still listen to it.
Oh yeah,
I enjoy it.
With it. They've gotten me into a little bit of hip hop because they wouldn't shut the fuck up about certain albums on their podcast, and so I was like, all right, I'll check this album out. And then I was like, oh hey, this is pretty good.
I don't know how I feel about this transition inside of you though, Zach. I don't know how I feel about you now listening to rap.
I don't know why you should feel anything about me now listening to rap. It's who I am now, Mom.
It's not a phase.
God.
Oh,
well, there's
God.
my shout for the episode.
Yeah, I'll turn it down. Probably, maybe. Hopefully, I remember to edit that yelling down.
Rip headphone users.
Rip headphone. Yeah, but you should definitely check out the Night Shift podcast. We were supposed to do a crossover episode with them where we guested on their podcast and they guested on ours. But, like, as we were planning it, Zach's car broke.
I don't want to talk about it.
And he had to live with his grandparents for a month and a half.
And now they don't podcast here for some godforsaken reason.
Well, yeah, they used to use our set for their podcast. That's another thing we should probably clarify, because people are maybe confused. They used to use our set, and they don't use our set anymore. They finally have their own set. So it would have been really easy to do the crossover episode because we both were using the same set.
But now it could potentially be very hard.
But now,
actually, just kidding. We can all just pile the three of them in the back of my car.
I don't know. Yeah.
That would actually be a hilarious way to do it.
But now that they aren't using our set anymore, it's kind of... We'll figure it out. I'll talk to Brian. We'll talk to the boys. But I would love to do a crossover episode.
We'll read the room. We'll figure it out.
And, like, those are guests we could have on the podcast without, like, being worried about social distancing, because they're people that, you know, our roommate hangs out with and works with.
Yeah.
So if
if they get it, we're getting it.
Yeah, if they get it and give it to our roommate, we're getting it. It's like, those are...
let's just cut out our roommate as the middleman.
Those are the select few people I'm not trying to social distance from. It's like, Brian, obviously our roommates, people, Bailey and, you know, Brian and all them, they're just like, they're a couple of good boys that I don't want to, like, have to avoid hanging out with, you know?
Yeah.
It's, you know, so basically my list is Brian, Bailey, and Jordan, the Night Shift podcast hosts.
Yep.
My girlfriend, and, like, my parents and siblings. I put the wrong number of fingers up for my siblings at first. Those are, like, the 9 people I'm okay with not social distancing from, and that's it. Most other people I'm trying to avoid right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of upset because I can't really avoid it at work.
Yeah.
Even though they have the break room laid out for social distancing, and even though they have, like, every office and meeting room laid out for social distancing, they'll still get this close to you to talk to you about what they need you to clean.
Of course.
It's like, man, just shout. Just be louder.
And that was one of the points we mentioned on episode 1 or 2, just to kind of dismiss any complaints or concerns viewers would have of us doing this podcast in person, is we live together, so, like, us doing the podcast apart, like 6 feet apart, is not going to lower the chances of giving each other the virus if one of us gets it. We use the same bathroom. We have the same kitchen. Like, that's kind of pointless.
I lick all his plates before he uses them.
So, Yeah. There are very few people
Hey, are you ready?
that I'm not social distancing
Can't send
from.
them to Skype for business. Oh no.
But I'm social distancing from most people. Most people. It's just a good time. There was something I was
Yeah.
going to say, but now I forget. Oh, yeah. So that's one of the nice things, though. I complained about not having a job because of the virus. I had a job lined up, and the virus kind of killed that job this summer. So I complained about not having a job this summer. But one nice thing about not working is I don't have that kind of back of my head secondary thought that I might get the virus from people I work with.
Yep.
So that's nice. It's not having a job has helped me quarantine a lot more safely. I've barely left this apartment for the
I
last.
wish I could work from home.
I haven't left this apartment much at all since March. It's crazy, like how much time I've spent here, and I'm proud of myself honestly for that. Again, sucks that I don't have a job and don't have income right now, but thankfully your boy had a little bit of money saved up before quarantine, and thankfully I don't have to worry too much about, you know, getting COVID. So that's nice, I guess. That's one nice thing.
Apparently, I don't know how true this is because I heard it not super recently, but another round of stimulus is supposed to come through soon.
Oh yeah, they were talking about maybe doing stimulus again. That would be nice because I
That'd be
am
pretty
I am
good for
starting to
me.
run out of my savings, but thankfully this semester's starting back up again, so I've like an excuse for not working. Is I have classes because usually I only work in the wintertime and the summertime, and then I spend spring and fall on classes, focusing on my energy on classes. So now that I'm back in classes, I don't feel bad anymore about not having a job, but it still sucks that I didn't have a job and don't have a job right now. I think we're coming up on Caleb dying here soon in the Minecraft footage.
Ooh, let's watch.
It's sad. You'll see those little lava fields here in a little bit, but
I really don't like that you shake the camera when you run. Still, like it's a UHC habit.
oh yeah, from like playing Minecraft PvP. Oh, I just
Yep.
kicked our little desk here. I don't know. I think I still got a couple minutes before this pops up on the background footage. Also, we have never really mentioned this on the podcast, though it's something we've always wanted to do and say. Send us questions if you have them.
Please, I'm begging.
We won't guaranteed answer them if we don't like think that it's appropriate, or maybe it's just a bad question. But if you send us questions on social media for the podcast, we'll probably answer them on the podcast. There's also a perk if you are a Patreon supporter that any question you ask will pretty much be answered. So if you want to ask questions, like, probably we'll answer them. If you're non-Patreon supporter, if you're a Patreon supporter, we're guaranteed to answer them.
And if you want to ask us really awkward personal questions and then force us to answer them, be a Patreon supporter.
And another thing we have always wanted to do, but have never, I guess, vocalized on the podcast or social media, is if you have any suggestions for bonus content, we're down to do it. We've only really uploaded one video to the channel that isn't podcast related. Like, we've only uploaded one bonus video. But if you have any ideas for bonus videos, please send us those. At the very least, they'll go up on the Patreon. We've put a lot of bonus content up on the Patreon. But we're also looking for bonus content to go up for free, like on the YouTube and Twitter and Instagram. So if you have ideas for bonus content that we could do for, the free viewers, we're more than happy to do that, because we want to do that. We feel bad almost that we only done a lot of bonus content on the Patreon. Obviously, that's the point of Patreon. You're supposed to get more content on Patreon, but I still feel bad only doing bonus content on the Patreon, and I want to start doing bonus content for people who just support us for free as well, because those supporters mean just as much to us. Like, anyone supporting us right now means a lot because we're a small podcast.
Yes, I agree.
Yes, you agree.
Sorry, I'm actively falling asleep right now.
That's okay. We can end the podcast soon because I'm going to die in the Minecraft footage soon. We just got to wait for me to die.
World's tiniest violin.
We just got to wait. It's the second time I died. The first time I died, man, the first time I died in this Minecraft series was similar to Jericho in Trinity Island. I don't know if you remember that. The saddest Minecraft death in YouTube history, where a creeper fell on top of him from above. That happened to me in this background footage series, and it really made me sad. This time I was just like mad, not that I died, but mad that I still haven't found a nether fortress. and I'm finding all this other like random stuff as well. It's I don't want to rant about Minecraft because I love Minecraft, but yeah, this new update is a little frustrating.
Fuck Minecraft. All my homies hate Minecraft.
Hey, I love Minecraft. I've been playing a lot. We always talked about getting back into like some of our older series, like Skyblock and Hardcore. We never did a season 2 of Hardcore.
No thanks.
Modded would be fun to do again. There's so much you can do with Minecraft. That's why I love it. You should get back into Minecraft, Zach. You should upload to YouTube again.
No thanks.
Why not, Zach?
I'm good.
Why not?
No thanks.
Come on, bud.
I'm good.
You fall asleep a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
You're like curling up into a ball.
Mm.
I'm also really proud of myself. I've said this to you.
Alexa, play a lullaby.
That's going to be copyrighted.
Alexa, stop.
Thank you. I was going to say, don't give me more to edit out this episode. I'm really proud of myself. While you were gone, and I just want to tell all the viewers this, because I know I've said it to you like 5 times. While Zach was gone for a month and a half, I was in charge of taking care of his fish. And I only let one fish die, while also, under my control, under my eyes, a new fish was born. So I let one fish die, one new fish was born. So technically, I kept all the fish alive. That evens out to 0 deaths. So for a month and a half, and I'd never owned fish before, I've never taken care of fish before. So for a month and a half, I was a goddess of fish. I was the
So do you
supreme
wanna get
leader.
fish now or what?
I don't want to get fish. I told you before, I don't like
You get a little
animals.
puffer.
I only like pets that can give you love back in return. And I say that in the most like strict way. Like, yeah, maybe your fish will interact with you and like play around with you, but like I say that so strict that I don't even like cats a ton, because some cats could give a fuck less about you. Like,
That's fair.
dogs are one of the few pets I'll probably ever own, because dogs go out of their way and more to like love you back.
Yep.
And that's why I love Bowser, who's now snoring. You might be able to hear that on the mic. I don't know. It's kind of quiet. Like, he's a good boy, and he gives a lot of love. But like, cats are even kind of in...
Sometimes too much love.
Fish, I wouldn't get. Dogs, I love. Cats are in that gray area where, like, yeah, they love you back, but sometimes they hate you. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all, to be honest. Oh, wait, no, there's a lot of time before I die. I forgot how much time I spent in the nether. Alright, we can just end the podcast soon then. We don't have to wait for me to die in the video. But yeah, it's literally, like I said, hours of me recording exploring the nether and hours of me recording not exploring the nether. And it took me too long to find another fortress. It took me so long, and I was so fed up by the time I did find one. I just grabbed the nether wart and I left. I didn't explore anything else. Yeah.
Wild.
I love Minecraft, but I also love to complain about Minecraft. That's just kind of how I am with everything. I like to complain, not because I'm a super negative person. I consider myself an optimistic person, but complaining does like help relieve stress and like make me feel better about situations that I find unfair.
Yep.
I read an article once about how like complaining can almost give you a better mental health if you do it correctly.
Maybe that's why my mental health is so poor. I don't complain about anything.
I think your mental health is so poor because you don't care about yourself at all.
Well, that's also true.
You sleep for hours on end.
Yes.
You're always fucking crying. Sorry, I couldn't help but make the reference. I couldn't help but make the joke.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm trying to fake cry and I can't.
I can't fake cry either. But yeah, to go back to my point.
The problem is I have tears literally sitting in my eyeballs, ready to go.
I love video games, but I love complaining about video games, is I think the point I'm making. And that's a dangerous outlook to have, because sometimes people who join my live streams for the first time and don't know me or know my personality will just think that I'm like whining, when that's not what I'm trying to do. I just like to complain and joke around about like the bad things about video games, and
Yes,
then
that is true.
I'll also hype up and talk good about the good things of video games. Anyways, this has been your daily dose of listening to two guys rant about video games. Anything else to add, Zach, before we pass out in the podcast?
Fuck Caillou.
Fuck Caillou.